Good afternoon, Rich Nass with Open Systems Media, and I'm here for my weekly call with Ray Zinn. Good afternoon, Ray. How are you?
I'm doing just fine, Rich, and hope you have a good Christmas.
Well, thank you, and same to you and your family.
Well, thank you.
As you know, we do these calls once a week, and we talk about whatever we feel like talking about. Sometimes the audience likes it, and sometimes they tell us that we don't know what we're talking about, but that's okay. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I said that's what makes it fun.
Exactly. If everybody was the same, that wouldn't be interesting. So we're winding down to the end of the year, and my question for you, actually two questions. What's the best thing that happened in 2016 in our industry? And then what's the worst thing that happened in 2016 in our industry? So which one do you want first, the best or the worst?
Well, we can do both, right? I don't know if the best is better than the worst. It's interesting when I look back on my life. The worst things are always 10 times worse than I thought they were going to be, and then the best things are only 1/10 as good as I thought they were going to be. So, we always hope for the best and expect the worst, but it seems like when we hope for the best, we never get what we want, and when we expect the worst, we plan for the worst, it's always worse than we thought. And so that seems to be the way life is. I guess we're just optimists, So with that said, looking at 2016, I think, the good thing is the industry is still intact. I kind of thought that because of all the consolidation that it might hurt us, but it looks like the industry is doing well, and that part's a good thing. Even recovering to some degree, if you look at the stock prices, even recovering based on at least the last couple of months, the industry appears to be doing well, and so that's I think a good thing. And I've not heard anything that says that the consolidation has really harmed us. So, any comments on that comment?
I do have a comment on that comment. I was thinking the same thing, that there has been a real lot of consolidation, especially in the second half of the year, and I tend to think that's a bad thing. I mean, it hasn't materialized yet because these things are still working themselves through, but there's less competition, and that's a bad thing. And I'm afraid going forward that there will be even less competition in a lot of these spaces.
Yeah, and I agree.
The MCU space.
I agree. And I thought that would have been a terrible thing, but as it turns out, Rich, it's not hurt yet. Maybe it hasn't really dug itself a hole yet, and so therefore it's not evident how serious the consolidations will impact our ability to compete. So, but I thought like you did. I thought that these consolidations were going to be harmful. It was going to kill innovation and kind of injure the industry. But that to me is good news that it hasn't hurt yet. But maybe it will. Maybe in 2017 we'll start seeing the impact on that. But so far that hasn't occurred. Now the bad thing, what I think is things that can most concern me, has to do with really the U.S. giving up on manufacturing, and we're going to basically become just a sales and marketing organization, and turn over all the manufacturing to those offshore. Now, that to me is dangerous and concerning because, if we lose the ability to manufacture the product, then we're going to be at the mercy of those countries that have picked that up. And I've seen it happen over the years as more and more technology is being transferred offshore. Has made me feel a lot more concerned about the U.S. ability to really compete and stay prominent in the semiconductor industry. How do you feel about that?
I agree with that. I definitely agree with everything you said. I was going to go in a completely different direction about the best side, though. My best side was the how the whole Internet of Things is sort of coming together, and now we're actually seeing real products that are significant products. Like if you look at like what Amazon and Google are doing with these voice control things, and how you can control the lights from different places and from your iPhone. I think that's really cool. That's the best thing that I've seen this year in our space.
Well, the Internet of Things, of course, have been around for the last 20 years, so it's not like, this is brand new. What you're saying is that we're seeing more and more products coming out as a result of people focusing on low power consumption, low battery or low voltages, more mobile type things, remote doorbells and automated cars and that sort of thing. And I agree with you, but I think that's going to continue. I don't know if that's going to be good news in a standalone, like it's not going to happen in 2017, 18, and so forth. I do see just ongoing advancements, and we've been seeing that for the last 50 years. So I was thinking more of the bad news being us transferring our technology out of this country. That's my big concern.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. Without getting into the politics, which is almost impossible with this question, but what do you think about that going forward? Do you think the manufacturing will be entering the country or leaving the country?
That's a $64 question. I think it has a chance of returning. I think with the political environment that's now coming on, I think that there's a good chance, and I'm hopeful that we'll see less transfer, or maybe even some of this coming back. So that's kind of another conversation that maybe we can spend another time talking about. But certainly, I'm hopeful.
Very good, and I am the same. Okay. Well, that's a good best thing and a good worst thing. If that's the best thing and the worst thing, then we're doing okay.
Yep.
Okay. Well, I think that wraps up our session for this week. Well, thank you very much, Ray, and I hope you and your family have a great holiday, and we'll speak to you next week.
You're the same, Rich. Thanks.
That was Ray Zinn. I didn't mention at the opening that Ray is the longtime CEO of Mike Crail. He's an author, he's a podcaster, and he's a lot of other things. Take care, Ray.
Thanks a lot, Rich.